Last time on Square Roots, we visit the decrepit temple of our father, liberate a fort, and pass out on a bridge. See, this is why you shouldn't hold your breath when you cross a bridge. What, you're gonna make a wish? Well, I wish you'd get your frickin' shit together, ball spawn!
Everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
When you think about it, we're all ball spawn.
It's true. John Belafette Brandon.
Wait, which one's Belafette?
He's the devil man.
I have a question.
Oh,
Do you think there are more episodes where Johnny is confused about the nickname you give him than not? Because I'm starting to think that there are.
They're mostly plot related. Also joined by Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time. And in this episode, we are wrapping up our Baldur's Gate series. Baldur's Gate 1 series.
We finally did it. It took fucking 16 years.
Feels like this one's been going for a minute.
8 episodes. That's 2
someone wanted
months.
to do that chunky DLC, so
I mean, we could have wrapped this up in 2 episodes if somebody wasn't playing so goddamn slowly.
and the game's like 100 hours long, dude. You need to chill. Not if you skip every piece of dialogue and just attack everything and then don't read anything and skip all the cutscenes.
Never talk to an NPC.
That's not fair, John. You know I have to skip the dialogue, and you know why.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Well, should we level up? That sounds like a fun thing to
Wow,
do.
getting
You
right
didn't
to
even
it, huh?
say what we did on the show.
You didn't even say what we do on this show.
I did say
Wait,
it.
what do we
I
do on this
always
show?
say it. I don't know.
We'd level up. That's what we do on this show. We talk about our
Yay.
personal lives.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I watched a great movie. I loved it. It was the best movie I've ever seen. I watched Scream 6.
You loved it.
Cool. You did
You were like
it.
text spamming us last night about how much you loved it.
That's what I was doing, talking about how much I loved it. I loved how the NYC streets would just randomly clear out so that somebody could be murdered in the public, like right out in the wide open streets. I loved the terrible twists. I loved how it felt like it was written by a conservative who was desperately trying to like connect with what liberal millennials are like these days, but had never actually met one. I loved how it felt like it was written by Elon Musk. I loved that cancel culture was the real villain of the movie when feminists weren't the villain of the movie anyway. And I really loved how, I won't spoil anything, but at the end of the movie when a certain villain was rushing a certain hero and was like, we're gonna fight, and the villain had a gun in their hand and just kind of held it out in front of them like a knife and then ran at the person that they were attacking instead of just shooting them dead. It was very bad.
You know the biggest clue that it was written by Elon Musk was when one of the characters was like, I keep getting attacked and my friends keep getting murdered by a mass killer. And then the other character goes, interesting, I'll check on this.
And then one of the millennial girls was like, as a millennial girl, I love my Tesla. It doesn't explode.
It was legitimately one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I hated it. I really enjoyed watching it because I was spamming the chat last night with complaints about the movie. And it was so bad that it was almost good bad in that, like, did you intentionally write a bad movie kind of way? You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking
Was
about?
it better or worse than Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I legitimately think it was worse than that Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Like,
I
no
hated
joke.
that movie.
Wow.
No joke. This movie is outright atrocious. And I'm seriously considering making it my choice for our next bonus episode when I get a choice, so that we can do a live commentary and I can talk shit all the way through it. This was really bad. It's really fucking bad.
So bad you want to watch it again with your friends.
I mean, kinda, yeah. Like, isn't watching a bad movie with your friends fun? I mean, it's bad.
It's true.
It's real bad. Wednesday Addams is in it. I guess that's
Christina
good.
Ricci?
She was that character before she was Wednesday
Christina Ricci?
in Scream
That's
5.
not really
no,
the point.
Jenna Ortega.
The point is that I can't see her and not think of her as Wednesday Addams now. Also, boy, she is like 3.5 feet tall, huh? I mean, I guess
She's teensy.
I guess it makes sense that she's playing a teenage girl, even though I think she's like 25 or something, because she is 2 feet tall. Toddler-sized.
Well, I just saw Jenna Ortega in the 3rd season of You, and she played a 15-year-old.
Wow.
Oh.
I wonder how old she actually is.
Is You the show with Penn Badgley? Badgley?
Yes.
Okay. I've seen some of that.
I also wrapped up my playthrough of the Resident Evil 4 remake. Guys, that game was fucking incredible. I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Was it the best Resident Evil game? I think it might be. Certainly the best one up until the new Resident Evils 7 and 8, which have also been excellent. Can they just remake the other Resident Evils into Resident Evil 4? Because that would be great for me.
I mean, they did remake the other Resident Evil.
Yeah, but they're bad. They play like shit. You know how games play like shit sometimes?
You shut your damn mouth. Those games are great.
I did try to restart Resident Evil 1, and man, like, I want to like that game a lot, and I love the atmosphere and the concept of, like, spooky mansion survival. But it just
And you're
plays
like, I'm
hell.
having such a great time with this amazing game and its incredible remake.
Maybe I'll
Or
give
the
Resident
original,
Evil-
whichever one you were playing. They're both great.
Maybe I'll give
The
Resident Evil 2
HD
remake a
remaster is
try,
really
but-
good.
The
That's what I was playing, and I didn't find it really good. I found it really unplayable. Like, I get that they ditched the tank controls, but it still has that set camera thing that makes every area, like, I just don't like it. Like, it's fine, but you don't got to do that anymore. Like, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to, so don't. It's like making your movie in fucking black and white and silent just because it's fun. Don't.
like The Artist? I still want to see that.
Yeah, like
I've
the
never
artist.
seen
never
that
seen
either. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, me either.
That'll
anyway,
be
That's what we
my
should
next
watch
bonus.
together.
All right,
my
we'll
level
just
up.
do voices for The Artist.
Scream 6, worst movie I've ever seen. Resident Evil 4, one of the best games I've ever played in my life, even though sometimes I hated it. I'm really interested in hearing Vanessa's level up.
Oh, are you? Mm-hmm. I have a feeling that... Yep, that's the introduction to my level up. I saw the Mario movie. The movie I swore on this very podcast that I wasn't going to see because I don't have children and don't have to see that kind of thing. I forgot that I do have friends.
And your friends have better taste than you who want to see movies that are good.
Friends who are children.
Friends
Well,
who want
movies
to
that
see
are
the
okay.
Mario movie. So I went and saw it, and it was fine.
Yeah.
That's my
also
review.
that also is how I felt about it.
Yeah.
Did you see Mario's butt?
No.
There was
I
actually
mean-
a meme about how his butt is small in the movie compared
Yeah,
to
I
his
didn't notice
juicy
it.
juicy dumper in the
They
cage.
nerfed Mario's
Yeah.
Mario's butt, huh?
Yeah, I felt like if anything, they more focused on his bulbous nose. Like, that's what I noticed a lot of. And I really noticed the stitching on his hat because that was some fine CGI work. So many pixels on display.
Did you see
it
it
looks
in
good.
3D?
No.
Tell us what you liked
Vanessa.
and disliked about the Mario movie, Vanessa.
What I liked about the Mario movie was the stitching on Mario's hat. What I disliked about the Mario movie is it was rote and predictable. Although it kind of didn't have some things I expected, like Mario refusing the hero's cry or call, whatever it's called. It didn't hit all of those. Who is it? Joseph something?
Campbell?
Campbell, yeah.
Yeah. Joseph Campbell beats.
The hero's journey.
Yeah, Mario didn't really have a journey of a hero. He just more was in one place and then went to another place and was the whole same guy.
That's not true. His dad was proud of him at the end of the movie. That's a hero's journey right there.
That was weird.
Was Mario's dad a CGI Lou Albano?
He was, in fact, a CGI Lou Albano.
It was very strange to me that Mario and Luigi lived with their parents and had a lot of concerns about whether or not their parents were proud of them.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Always thought of them as 40-year-old men, but
What did you think
Are they
of,
young?
What did you think of what
Are
they
they
did?
young in the movie?
Yeah, they're pretty
Or
young.
They're in their 20s?
Yeah.
I guess
What did you think of
weird.
Bowser?
he was fine.
Wow. I loved Bowser.
I don't mean to be so defensive about it. I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit bitter that
You're
I
not
had to go
defensive.
see
You're
it.
the opposite of defensive.
Then I don't mean to be so accommodating. What's
Accommodating?
the opposite of defensive?
Well, if you're defensive
Offended?
about the movie, you'd be like, I loved it. Why are you being so mean to my precious Mario boys?
I feel like I don't
You're being
know.
very insistent about your apathy.
Yes,
towards
I'm
the movie.
insistently apathetic about the movie. The theater was a little too hot. The friend I saw it with was in a bad mood. There were a lot of factors that might have contributed to me not liking this movie as much.
I mean, it's not
fine.
great, so that helped. I mean, I'm sure. It's not great.
Well, I applaud you for supporting independent cinema.
I think
Thanks.
that-
Yeah.
I think they gave away a little too much in the previews. Like, if we didn't know that there was a Mario Kart in that movie, I think I would have been pretty shocked when they did a whole Mario Kart scene. Like, what? You're Mario Karting now? But
Was there a Mario Party?
No.
no,
No.
that would have been fun.
I did like the parts of it that were set in the real world. I wish that we had had more of that. And
That's a
I
weird
guess,
thing to say about a Mario movie.
Slight spoiler for the Mario movie. I wished that Mario's plumbing skills had come in handy. on
See,
his
that's what I want to
journey.
see from a Mario. I want to see him use a plunger.
That is
Yeah.
the
I want to see him make Bowser drink a
worst.
Drano.
I liked how Bowser was not just a maniacal villain, but was instead kind of had his own little sad love story going on. He wears the white tux. It's so cute.
He was pretty cute, I guess. He sang that song, which I had seen before, so I didn't really feel like it had any particular impact on me.
I love Peaches.
What I remember most about it is there was one shot of the ocean, and the characters were far above it, and it looked like a film. It was so hyper realistic that I was almost convinced that they spliced in some film footage into this one part and then overlaid their characters on that. Maybe they did. I can't imagine that they would
doubt
have
it.
because that would have been a really weird choice. But excellent ocean at a distance effect. Good job, animation team. I wished Toad had a scratchy Toad voice instead of a normal voice. I really
Who
wanted him
plays
to be like
Toad? It's somebody.
Wasn't it?
Isn't it Keegan Michael Key?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Keegan-Michael Key. And I wish he had been Blue Toad instead of Red Toad because
Wow.
Blue Toad's better.
What about, did you stick around for the after credits scene?
No.
All it is, nobody's going to stick around for it. But if you're dying, listeners, you should skip ahead 15 seconds. All it is, you sit through all those goddamn credits, and it just shows us Yoshi's egg. That's it.
Horrible. Awful.
Yeah.
Look.
Lame.
When I go to a Mario movie, here's what I want to see. I want to see Birdo spitting some eggs in people's faces.
Hell yeah.
I want to see Dodo pecking at some statues.
Ooh.
And I
Oh
want to
no, they never put Super Mario RPG stuff in the canon now.
And I want to see Luigi go on a worldwide adventure for his missing brother Mario.
It would be cool if Luigi sucked up some ghosts. It would be cool if Gino shot stars out of his arms. That would be pretty sweet.
I was really hoping for some of Bowser's kids, not Bowser Jr., who I hate, but the original Bowser's kids, whom I love.
Ooh.
Ludwig
I
von
like them
Bowser.
both. I think that I want to see their interactions, like his adopted kids versus his.
Are they
his,
adopted?
Biological. Yeah, I think so.
No, they're
supposed to-
Peaches.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, they're Peach and Bowser's kids.
Oh.
I'll tell you, there was one part of the movie that has stood out to
That
me as
makes
being
a lot
very
more
weird,
sense.
which is that, again, like minor, very mild spoiler. When Mario and Peach first meet, she's like, "Gasp, you're human?" And at no point was I ever led to believe that anybody would know what a human is, and nor is it ever really
Yeah.
referenced again. It was very strange.
Yeah,
Felt like maybe
she's the
they
only human
forgot
in
to
the
swap
world.
out a
She has
scene.
a word for it.
But she doesn't, like, she was a baby when she showed up. She don't know what a human is.
Yeah. And then Mario's like, "Oh, maybe you're from my world," and she's just like, "There's lots of places in the universe."
It's real fucking weird.
Okay.
Definitely
Instead
felt
of
like
being
they were
like,
just
"Oh
like,
my
we'll
god,
leave this
there's a
open
whole
to decide
world
later.
full of people like me." Like,
Is it daikini? Is that the word for her? Was she a daikini baby?
what are you talking about?
I don't know, but
You
it sounded
our
racist. I don't like it.
Listeners will understand.
Like a baby that comes out of a daikon?
He's a
Or like a baby from Daikatana.
What's your other level up, Vanessa? You have 2 in the notes here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I finished watching You. I watched You season 4, and I liked it very much. It was my favorite one that I've seen because it stars Taskmaster season 11 contestant Charlotte Ritchie. There's nothing I like better than being with my parasocial Taskmaster friends, and it was fun to see her do a dramatic acting role because I've never watched Ghosts. I really only know her from Taskmaster. She did a great job. She looks just like Margot Kidder from the Superman movies.
Aw. I love Margaret
And,
Kidder in the Superman movies.
Is that her name?
Hey, Margot Kidder? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her in those movies.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So Charlotte Ritchie. If you like Margot Kidder, you'll probably like Charlotte Ritchie. And now I have started and nearly finished watching a new show called Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story.
I've seen some of that too.
This is a Bridgerton story about Queen Charlotte, the wife of King George III, Mad King George. Old, lost to the Revolutionary War himself, Georgie the King. It's about their love story. It's okay. It has lots of costumes and sumptuous sets and a whole bunch of fake flowers all over the place.
And drama.
And it's not... They have sex scenes, but it's not quite as sexy as like the first season of Bridgerton, I would say. They seem to be not so much the focus of this particular story. One weird thing I found about it is this season is 6 episodes long. Episode 4, almost entirely flashbacks and rehashing of what we've already seen.
No.
And if you're only going to have 6 episodes, you really don't need to put a flashback clip show in the middle of there, too.
Is this the season I worked on a couple episodes of?
I don't think so. I think you were working on the sort of main show.
Right, yes.
This is like a spin-off-y kind of show.
Okay.
Narratively, it was supposed to be showing the same events from a different character's perspective, but they used the same footage. And that especially doesn't work on a Netflix show, which people are going to binge. That's how they watch Netflix. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. That's how I leveled up. Johnny, how did you level up?
Well, I'm dressed in yellow.
And the boys say hello, because they know I'm rocking the beat. That's my Wario impression. Was it good? Was Wario in
No.
that movie?
I wish that he
No.
was.
Yeah, I wish Waluigi was. Like Wario, I can take or leave, but Waluigi is great.
Yeah,
I
it was
agree.
wonderful. A
You
real,
know, there's so many Mario things they could have had.
a
It was
real
the first
Vanessa
Mario
boyfriend.
movie. They could only fit so much in. I hope that they do make a second one, and I hope they go nuts.
Vanessa,
And
would you
that's
call Waluigi a Vanessa boyfriend?
What do I call Waluigi? The skinny, mustachioed sociopath from the Mario series.
Yeah.
A
The
Vanessa
famously stinky
boyfriend.
and unhygienic.
No, that's his brother.
Oh, I see.
You know, now that you mention it, although I have often used a picture of Waluigi that I drew, it's a very good picture, as
Yep.
my Zoom background, I don't know very much about Waluigi as a person.
I don't know
Okay.
that there is much to know. He's not in a lot of games.
Wait.
And when he is, he just kind of is there.
Are you telling me you haven't watched a 25-minute video on trying to unravel who Waluigi is?
Wait, I did watch that video. You're right. I had completely forgotten about that. I do not remember its conclusion. I think the conclusion was that we are all Waluigi. or
Yeah,
perhaps
especially
just
him.
Brian David Gilbert is Waluigi.
Yes.
Which I'm fine with that. I guess then. Well, you said that I wasn't allowed to have Brian David Gilbert as a boyfriend, so
Nah,
no,
it's fine.
Waluigi is not.
I know
a
you'd have to
Vanessa
ask
boyfriend.
his and Karen Hahn's permission.
You don't have to ask permission to have an imaginary boyfriend.
Oh, that's true.
I do try to, stick to fictional characters or fictionalized versions of actual people, i.e., their public personas as celebrities and not their actual lives, because I don't want to be involved with that. I have enough actual people in my life. I want imaginary people.
Who's leveling up? Oh, John.
Yeah, it's me. So I did. Speaking of Vanessa boyfriends, I did watch Dungeons and Dragons Hat,
What?
and it was fine. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I thought it felt like someone kind of making a funny movie based on their goofy not real life, but their goofy quests they've been on. It did seem like a lot of the things do seem like goofy stuff people would get up to on a sillier D&D campaign, which I liked. It was much better than the first Dungeons and Dragons movie by a long shot. I was surprised at the amount of screen
High
time
bar.
the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon characters got. I thought they were just going to be a background reference, but they are interacting with the main characters in this movie.
I think you're overblowing things.
Well,
I think that
they are
mostly
there.
show up in the background and then have like one line.
Yeah, there's one line, but they're also like alongside them for several different bits during a fight or like a action scene. That was pretty fun.
Dungeon scene?
Yeah, a dungeon scene.
Dragon scene?
And so that's one movie where I'm like, wow, this could be a movie full of Vanessa boyfriends. I don't know which one would be. Once again, I don't know why I always rate skinny, vaguely threatening or mousy guy. Not mousy, what's meek guys. Either vaguely threatening or meek seems to me the way I
That
interpret.
is my range.
Yeah.
I want someone
Sinister.
who seems vaguely threatening or a total wet blanket.
Yeah. So there's a lot of those there, and that was pretty fun. So
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to seeing this movie. I just I'm waiting for it to be free.
I wonder
Same.
what it will come to.
I have no
What
Who
will it
produced it?
come to?
I don't know.
Wasn't it Paramount?
I'd love to see it on that Paramount Plus.
I watched, I played Fist of the North Star Boxing. I got that I got my tax
Oh, nice.
return back, so I got that for myself as a little present. I had to take painkillers after my workout today. I was sore all over. Like, it sort of works out a lot of ones that are hard to work out, like obliques and stuff. And those wings. I forgot what they're called. Like your shoulder muscles.
Your delts.
It was Paramount, by the way.
Oh, your traps.
No, it's like lower than
your
that.
Delts?
It's attached to your shoulder blades and goes down the sides.
Your glutes?
No, that's your butt.
Those are your delts, aren't they?
So, maybe they are. You might be right.
Like right here.
Isn't it like latimus dorsi, or is that your like the middle of your back? Yeah, but that's okay. I guess that is your delt. Yeah, stuff that's harder to work out. And I don't know. I feel very sore today, but it was a good workout. Like it's tough, and I do think there are some like things that make it feel cheap that I don't like. Like the warm up and the cool down are both the exact same workout, and they never change. I think that they should be cycling in exercises in and out based on what you did that day. And just to switch it up, too. You don't want to do the same. First of all, you should never do the same. It should be a different set of exercises for your cool down, like ones that are more focused on slow, like stretches. And then for warm up, it should be a bit more high. The intensity should be notched up. That's my biggest complaint with it, is that the warm up and the cool down suck. But the main workouts are good. They are demanding, and it feels like taking a class. So if you want to take a class at home, and this one's much less noisy than something like Ring Fit because you aren't bouncing up and down as much. It's good. I also PlayStation was like, if you give me an extra $15, you'll have the rest of the year. Your year, you can access all the PS Plus classics, and I was like, all right, I like classic games. So I downloaded a bunch of the PS1 classics, like Matthew was talking about, Resident Evil 1, the original, like super bad graphics version. And that game, like at first I was like, I can't even control this because I was using the analog sticks. And I was like, but then the second I moved back to using the D-pad, I was like, oh yeah, this is like, what do you call that? Riding a bicycle. Yeah. It was so like I could instantly play the game perfectly as long as I wasn't using the analog stick, but it's a little tricky with the analog stick because I think tank controls work better with a digital D-pad. But Resident Evil works fine. I think it looks better with there's a classic filter with scan lines and darkens the image and blurs it a little bit. And normally I'm not a big fan of those, but I think with that game, the art looks a million times better that way. And like everything blends in better. With that game in particular, definitely play with scan lines. Unfortunately, the emulation of Ridge Racer 4 is terrible. What a bad, there's a lot of problems with the PS Plus Classics version on PS5, which is sad because they should be doing a good job because it's their games, Why are emulators so much better at this? Why is the Vita and PS3 and PSP better at emulating PS1 games than a PS5? I don't know. So that's it. That's my level up. Jim, what about you?
Hey, well, I went and saw Evil Dead Rise again.
Why?
And it's still pretty good. Because my daughter wanted to go see it.
Ooh. Well, she's getting old enough for real horror.
Is
she?
So.
Yeah. What's funny is I took her to go see it because she wanted to go see it, and then there were probably a good 10 minutes of the movie. So, she wore one of my hoodies to the theater, and partway through the movie, she puts the hood up, and then whenever something got scary, she would pull the hood down over her eyes. So she probably spent 10 minutes of the movie with the hood over her eyes, and when we left, she was like, that was probably the scariest movie I've ever seen. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, she's a teen. She's a teen now. She's not a tween anymore, right?
She'll be a teen in 36 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still good. I like it a lot. It looks fantastic. Like when I saw it the second time, it was even more apparent that the movie just looks great. That guy, they picked a really good director in Lee Cronin. He's great.
And Lee Cronenberg?
No, it's Lee Cronin.
Well, who's Lee Cronenberg then?
You're thinking of
David Cronenberg?
David Cronenberg?
Well, who's
Or
that?
Brandon Cronenberg?
David Cronenberg's that director who did like the all those movies, like with
He did The Fly.
The Fly.
Yeah, horror movies.
Yeah, Canadian
Yeah.
horror movies.
Dead.
History
But
of
his
Violence.
name isn't Lee, nor is it Cronin.
I don't know. I don't think that people should be allowed to have such similar names.
Oh.
Brandon Cronin. Is it Brandon Cronenberg that's his son that did that movie with
Yes.
people in their faces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always laugh when I am playing my rally game because I put my co-driver as female and set her name as V Bow, like Laura Bow. So it's Vanessa Bow is my co-driver. Rally
Oh.
games.
Aww.
Just in case I stream
and-
it, I didn't want to use a real last name.
I appreciate that.
And my other level up is I got a new job. I haven't started it yet, but I did accept an offer for a new job.
Got a new job
Wow. Congrats,
I'm
Jim.
excited.
where you don't
Thanks.
have to drink, one where you don't have to try too hard, one that doesn't make you think. You got a
We're
new
glad that you
job.
won't be hawking ice cream on the side of the road anymore.
Yeah.
Instead,
I
you'll be
guess
hawking
that
couches.
ice cream. Yeah, the ice cream truck won't come around my house no more. The couch
Well, but
truck will come around.
they'll be like spinning donuts in front of your house. All right, I'm ready to play Vanessa's stupid game.
Yay!
Yay!
I did a listen of last week's episode, and I told myself that I was gonna play it like I was a participant. So I was buzzing in audibly on my couch while I was listening, and I would have cleaned up last week, guys.
It's not
Matt,
the same
I know Matt.
when
Matt
there's no pressure
dominated
and you're
in the
sitting on your
absence of
fucking
Jim.
couch. It's not the same.
I would have nailed it.
Chungus!
All right,
Watching out the door.
it's time for Vanessa's stupid game. This is the
Oh, hang
last
on.
round of Vanessa. Yeah.
What's the plan for next stupid game? Is it Johnny's stupid game?
I can do a stupid game.
Johnny's
stupid
game. All right, just wanted to clarify that.
Right, because I was threatening to make you do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much why.
All right, so this is the last round of Vanessa's stupid game for some time. Mostly because I am out of ideas. The stupid game is played like this. I will read 2 clues. The answers to both of those clues smush together in your mouth to create one ultimate answer. That's why it's called Smush Mouth.
Woo!
Let's do it.
Let's begin.
What are the
Round one.
standings?
Oh, sorry. Current standings. Johnny has 23 points, Jim has 18, and Matt has 17.
Fake news. Johnny has like 2 points.
I've been absent from 2 rounds, and I'm still ahead of Matt.
But Matt did
That
destroy
means
me
it's-
last week.
Anyone's game. Yeah, Matt has found his stride with this game.
I think Matt's stride was Jim not being around.
And drinking.
And drinking.
Round 1. Clue 1. Friend of the show Billy Ray wrote and directed this feature film about an unscrupulous journalist. Clue 2. This 2020 game was the 4th entry in its franchise and focused on Vikings in the British Isle.
Buzz.
Yes, Matt.
Shattered Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Correct!
Ah, nice.
That's 1 point for Matt.
Who's
Next
in third
round.
place now, Jim?
You're tied for a second.
You're in
Yeah,
third
that's
place
correct.
now. You get points deducted for missing episodes.
Next round. This game was the last in its main series franchise to be released on the Super Nintendo. Although it was the 6th entry in the series, it was initially labeled as the 3rd in North America. Clue 2. Molly Ringwald starred in this John Hughes film
Buzz.
about... Yes, Jim.
Final Fantasy 16 candles.
It is Final Fantasy 16 candle.
I was thinking Molly Shannon. Damn it.
And 3. First published in 1990, this Michael Crichton book spawned a film franchise, multiple video games, and a Netflix animated series. Clue 2. This political satire series was set in the fictional town of Pawnee, Indiana.
Buzz.
Yes, Matt.
Jurassic Parks and Rec. Would you like me to say
Full
Jurassic
title,
Parks and
please.
Recreation?
Yes, thank you. It is Jurassic Parks and Recreation. Round 4. Still anyone's game. This racing series launched in 1997 and is the highest-selling video game franchise under the PlayStation brand. Clue 2. This 1997 single from the notorious B.I.G. featured Puff Daddy and
Buzz.
a chorus from
Buzz.
Kelly.
Damn.
Oh, damn it.
Yes, Jim.
No, Johnny got it.
No, Johnny
Johnny.
had it.
Gran Turismo Money Mo Problems?
Correct.
Nice.
It is Gran Turismo Money More Problems. Next round. This 2021 film was based on a game series of the same name and served as a reboot of a previous film franchise. Clue 2. This 1979 debut album from Meatloaf was followed up by a nearly identically named 1993 album.
Buzz.
Can you read the first? Oh, go ahead.
Yes, Johnny.
Mortal Kombat Out of Hell.
It is Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Hell.
nice.
That is
round.
the only Meatloaf album I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Well, two albums.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes,
guess
its
you're right.
follow-up was
That's
Bad
true.
Out of Hell 2. Return to Hell. This 2017 PlayStation 4 title followed a young woman battling a menagerie of metallic beasts. Next clue. This 1978 film was remade in 2004 by Zach... Yes, Johnny.
Horizon Zero Dawn of the Dead.
Correct! It is Horizon
Nice.
Zero Dawn of the Dead.
I didn't think of Dawn of the Dead first. I thought of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
That could have been another answer. This 1990 puzzle game provided one of Nintendo's most famous figures with a new honorific. Clue 2. This city is the second most populous in Brazil and is the home of the 98-foot-high
Buzz.
Christ the Redeemer. Yes, Mats.
Dr. Mario, I don't know how to mush this together. Dr. Mario Grant?
Buzz.
Incorrect.
Buzz.
Yes, Johnny.
Dr. Mario de Janeiro.
It is Dr. Mario
Why did
de
I-
Janeiro.
Why did I think Rio Grande? It's not
Rio
it.
Grande is a river that
No,
separates
you're thinking
the
about
United States
El
from Mexico.
Paso.
And I did consider using it as the answer, but I liked the sound of Rio de Janeiro better.
Mario de Janeiro.
Mario de Janeiro. Next round. In 2022, Paramount Plus debuted this show based on a military science fiction franchise first developed by Bungie. Clue 2. This film featured Don Turturro as Pete Hogwallop and Tim Blake Nelson as Delmar O'Donnell.
Buzz.
Yes, Jim.
Halo, brother, where art thou?
It is Halo, brother, where art thou?
Damn it. Again. That's the second Oh Brother Where Art Thou smush you've done.
Is it? I was trying to avoid
I was like,
repeating
Halo. I was Hey Sweet and Lowdown. No, that's not it.
I forgot I did that before. I apologize. Maybe I'll
No,
throw
it's
in
fine.
a bonus question to make up for it.
It's fine. I mean, if you want to.
I do have 3 more that I've written, but only 1 more to read to end the series.
Yay!
Round 9. This game compilation from Valve included 2 previously released titles and 3 new ones, including a platform puzzler that became a smash hit. Clue 2. This holiday was originally celebrated by giving gifts to the... Yes, Matt?
Orange Boxing Day.
It is the Orange Boxing Day.
Nice.
Yay,
Wow.
I got it. What's
Let's
the final
see where
score,
that puts our
Vanessa?
standing. That gives Johnny an additional 4 points for a total of 27. Jim picked up 2 points for a total of 20. And Matt picked up 3 points for a total
Whoa!
of 20.
Never talk
We
shit to
do
me
have to
again.
have-
I'm the best. I win. This is a victory for me. Johnny, congratulations on your fake
Moral
victory?
No, real victory. It's a real victory.
Congratulations on your
to-
theoric victory.
Yeah. Although, I guess it's up to you guys, but we could do a tiebreaker between
Ooh.
Jim and Matt here.
I don't want to do a tiebreaker for third place.
All right. Fair enough.
I want to do the
Yeah, I
quest
would-
log.
I wouldn't want to either if I were you.
I win.
Well, congratulations,
I won
everyone.
Smush Mouth. Nobody won as good as me. I'm the winner.
Matt, you're definitely the comeback story of this
It's true.
game.
It's very true. All
Rookie
who
of the
knew
year.
that throughout these 8 episodes, all I really needed was to drink.
Well, I think it makes it easier because really this game is just about slurring your words.
Yeah. The lesson is drink all the time.
That's the Mario de Janeiro. It's time for the quest log.
It's like Popeye with
Think
his
it's time for the
spinach,
quest
but his
log.
spinach is beer.
Isn't there, Matt's like the drunken master?
Oh, yeah. He's like a
Oh,
drunken
yeah.
trivia master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to read my last 2 questions while Matt is gone. It's just between you and Johnny. See if you guys can get them. I didn't think that either of you would be able to answer these questions, which is why I saved them. So let's see if I was right or wrong.
Buzz.
Clue 1. Oh, Matt's back. Never mind then.
Oh, read them.
Okay. Clue 1. This standalone sequel to a game from Sucker Punch Productions was set in Seattle, Washington. Clue 2. This Sondheim musical, based on the life of a French pointillist, won the 1985 Pulitzer Prize for Drama, as well as 2 Tony Awards for design in the same year.
Buzz.
Yes, Johnny.
Infamous Second Sundays in the Park?
Almost. So close. Can't accept it. It was Infamous Second Sunday in the Park with George.
Oh.
What an idiot.
God damn it. God.
If that invalidates your win and you have to hand over the crown to me.
Yeah. What was the other one?
Clue 1. This 2004 game from Rockstar North was the 5th in its series and was set in a fictionalized version of California. Clue 2. This American soap opera ran from 1954 to 2010 and was originally conceived as the sister show to Guiding Light.
Sorry, say that again?
This American soap opera ran from 1954 to 2010 and was originally conceived as a sister show to Guiding Light.
What's the first one?
This 2004 game from Rockstar North was the 5th in its series and was set in a fictionalized version of California.
Buzz.
I don't know them.
Yes,
no soap
Johnny.
operas.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, The World Turns.
It is
it's the
Grand Theft
world
Auto San
turns.
Andreas, The World's Turns. That's
I
the
couldn't
question.
think of the fucking video game.
That's the question that I had Jim decide if it was going to be a highbrow or lowbrow question. Bonus point, can you guess what the highbrow answer would have been?
Without a
Was
clue?
it, would it have been the game or what would you have changed? The game. The first
I would
one or
have
the second one?
changed the second one.
Oh, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Sunday afternoon in the park with George.
Yeah, no, that's not right.
Well, I tried.
It would have been Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You like it?
Oh.
I thought you were going to go literary, and it was going to be Grand Theft Auto San Andreas as I lay dying.
That would have been very grim. Thanks for playing Vanessa's stupid game. I had a lot of fun writing it. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I hope you did too.
Matt won. That's right, gang. Matt came back and won the game. I'm glad that next
no one can
time
deny
it's Johnny's
that Matt won.
game, because I think he's won 2 in a row, and that's not fun for anybody.
Johnny is a savant, and he comes from a long line of quiz winners. So what can I say?
He's a quiz master. All right, it's time for the quest log. We're going to finish up Siege of Dragonspear this week, gang. Is everybody excited?
I'm
I am
pretty
so
excited. I've played a lot of Baldur's Gate 2 because I was so excited by finishing Siege of Dragonspear that I just kept going.
Well,
Do
it
you
does
think you're gonna
end
finish
on
it?
quite a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I mean, Siege of
didn't know-
Dragonspear is an intentional, interstitial, so it makes sense that it ends on a cliffhanger. It'll be good for when we do Baldur's Gate 2 in like a year or two. Vanessa, are you going to finish?
A year or two.
I will probably finish eventually, but I think that we're going to have to play the next game for the series, and that's going to take up the lion's share of my gaming pretty soon.
I bet it doesn't. It's not that long. I think that you'll zip through it.
It's like
I think you'll be done with
60
it in
hours,
2 weeks.
dude. It's 60 hours.
That's what
It's
you say about
pretty
every
long.
game.
You
Matthew
say that
does
about
not
fucking
understand.
every game.
It is 60 hours because I finished this one before and it took me 60 hours.
I'm looking it up.
Ugh. Yeah, because you always do just, shotgunning the story, not main plus.
It's not true at all.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, it's not. Sorry.
No, I was just saying you're wrong.
You're saying I don't talk to NPCs because
Yep.
they make you
You skip all the dialogue.
tired.
Don't do any of the side
About
quests.
33 hours.
I will show you.
You could spend 86 hours, but
Yeah,
the main
see?
story plus the sides, 41 and a half hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it took me 50-something, 55 or 60 hours, I think.
Johnny's a completionist.
And I also lose a lot and have to restart fights. So
Because you play at too high a difficulty.
Yeah,
because
I
you like
like
a
it.
challenge.
I agree with that. I don't think it's fair for you to yell at us about how long the games are when you are one of those, what's the word I'm looking for? Masochists who
Hardcore.
loves to play on hardcore modes and spits on those of us who put games on easy mode.
He does. He called
Johnny's
me a
always
fake
talking
gamer
shit about
girl.
us. Yeah, he called me a fake gamer girl.
I did. That was pretty
Johnny
funny.
said
Jim,
that
wasn't
if
that
I
pretty
play
funny?
it, Johnny said if I play a game on easy, I might as well just be watching a YouTube Let's Play.
Wow. I would never say that. That's awful.
Other than the times that you said it. So anyway, the quest log. So if you remember last week, we left off heading to the underground river, and that's where we're going to pick up. Unless you guys want to skip ahead some, we could skip ahead some if you just want to.
No,
Is there a special name for an underground river, like a geological name?
I don't know.
There should
Is this
be.
an answer
shouldn't there?
smush question?
No. Clue
Subterranean.
It's called- I think-
Is there a
I
special
think
name for an underground
is.
river?
There is. It's called a subterranean river.
Ooh.
Ah. Not quite as special as I was hoping. I really think it deserves its own name, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
What are you going to call it? Name it
Come up
right
with
now.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll name it a
Dark Flow.
A river war.
a leaf.
Ground Splash.
A lethite. It's a lethite. It's named after the river Leith, which flowed through Tartarus.
Oh.
Because
I like it.
it's underground. Yeah, I try scientific naming convention,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I did a really good job. It's a lethite.
Okay.
A Lethite.
So there are a few things to do before we head to the actual underground river.
Lethite, please.
Yeah, Lethite.
The Lethite. The entrance to the underground river is actually guarded by a crusader camp, but before we get there, there's an area to explore and lots of things to find. There are some good druids named Jamvin and Chorster who are entangled by some vines, and we can free them.
That sounds like names I'd make up when I don't know the names of characters.
It's every character in this game.
Jamvan is Gemini's PUBG duo team name.
Oh, yeah.
Once we free them, they tell us about a dark druid named Farisk who is corrupting this great oak tree. And the roots to the great oak tree are underground, so they give us an enchanted seed and tell us to go plant it in the oak's roots to clear the corruption. There's also an ogre camp, and when you arrive there, there's like a battle for leadership going on. And we can get involved if we want. Did anybody else get this?
Yeah, I got way involved.
Oh.
Yeah, you did.
I told them to fight it out, but then the wrong one won.
Oh, no.
We find out that the previous chief, Slug, has been kidnapped by the Crusaders and taken underground, and 2 of the ogres are vying for leadership. And there's a few ways to handle this. You can let them fight. You can fight and try to take control yourself, though if you do that, they won't listen to you because they won't follow a human. Or you can choose to act as a champion for the previous chief's wife, making her the chief.
That's what I did.
That's what I did, and she asked me to go find Slug in the underground river and free him. And the promise to help us if we did. John, I assume you killed them all because you're a monster.
No. I just was like, oh, this isn't my business. You guys go ahead and figure this out. And then he killed her.
That's exactly your attitude towards American politics.
Yep.
Anyway,
I don't want to interfere. No one likes foreign interference in their elections. It's a big deal in Canada right now.
Donald Trump likes foreign interference in American elections when it's in his favor. Anyway, there's a few other things to do, but I don't want to go through all of it. They're more side quests. But finally, we assault the Crusader camp. There's a Cyclops. What'd y'all think of that Cyclops? He was big.
It was way big. It did talk to me, and it was like, hey, you can't come here. And I have a little Crusader medallion.
Seal?
It's the Seal of Kalor.
I feel like I got one from him, so that didn't help me.
Yeah, I already had one, so I was like, hey, bud, I'm allowed in there. I work for Kalor. And he was like, no, you don't. I smash you. I don't know if there's a way to convince him.
I think there is a way to get through without fighting, but I was not able to. I did have to just kill everybody in the camp.
Yeah, I killed almost everybody in the camp, except for Horse and not Minsk and not Dinah here.
Right, there's a Minsk and Dinah here.
Oh, I didn't write about that, but maybe we save that for the side quest. That does come back around, though. But yes, there is a not Minsk and a not Dinah here. They're from the same place as Minsk and Dinah here. And they are working for Kalar.
Want to hear my hot strat? Oh, at this point, because I didn't want to spend forever, I did reduce the difficulty to easy. So I think I only died once or twice after that. So just
ew. Jim's wearing a Dickies shirt. Jim, you don't work for Dickies anymore. You can't wear their clothes.
Sorry. You just want me to take my shirt off.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm not gonna fall for that again.
I got Dinah here to cast the Cloud Kill and just kill everyone in the camp. That is a very powerful spell because the AI is not smart enough to deal with it. They're like, "Whoa, this cloud is pretty bad, huh? Oh, I guess I'll die." Yeah. They just sort of stand around being confused. Well, because usually they do try to get out of it, but they tend to get stuck on each other running for the exits, just like real life, really. Oh, that's a grim joke. Edit that out.
It was a grim joke, and now I'm thinking about the Triangle Factory fire.
Anyway, just as a reminder, so we finally arrive at the underground river, the Lilith, I don't remember what she said now. with our barrel of bloosh, because we have been given a barrel of bloosh to place in this underground river to fuck up the Dragonspear Castle, and you also may have been given poison to poison the Crusades' supplies.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that. That seemed
No, I told that guy
nasty.
to fuck off. I was like, no fucking way am I poisoning anybody. You piece
John
of shit.
Delancey, I'm
then I-
not doing that.
Yeah. And then I went to
Was that
the
John Delancey?
general... No,
He's
that's just the guy's
Torsten
name is
Delancey.
Delancey.
There's a couple of Star
Oh,
Trek
right.
references in the game in last
I mean,
names like
the guy that
Dorn
plays
and-
Tuvok is in this. The guy that plays Worf is in this. There's a bunch of Star Trekkies in this.
But also the last names of characters are named after, like Dorn and
Yeah, that's a good
Delancey.
point.
John Delancey's one of those guys who I've never really heard very much good about. You know what I mean?
He seems a little
Maybe
slimy.
Have you heard
Slanders.
bad? Have you heard bad stuff?
I think
Stuff
it's
we
just a
wouldn't put
little
on the
bit,
podcast.
Yeah.
Why? Is he controversial?
It's libelous.
So this underground river is fucking huge, and it is loaded with side quests. I did write a few of the major ones down to talk about, but not all of them. So if anybody has any specific ones they want to talk about in the side quest corner, we can do that. But first up is the Crusader Supply Depot. We meet a gnome named Ladle, who is not related to Glint, even though every gnome we meet has been related to Glint. So I thought that was weird.
All gnomes are related, says Matt. Cancel him.
They are, though. We meet them.
So I showed him the Crusader pass I got from the poor Cyclops, and he like gives me a bunch of quests to do, and I'm like, yeah, I'll help you guys
Yeah,
because
it's
I
weird.
love you. There's a lot
I
of
liked
quests
that-
to help Crusaders in this chunker.
If you fought your way through the Crusader camp, he'll ask you what all that noise was, and you can say, oh, just a fight with a squirrel got out of hand. And he's like, oh, man, again?
I told him that they were fighting over who loves their lady that they're following more, and he had the same reaction. He's like, again? Arr.
He warns us of some Sahagan. I don't know how to pronounce that properly.
Fishman.
Some fish dudes that are blocking the path ahead, so we have to go deal with them. I did that by
I
telling them...
was gonna say the Sahagan are also enemies in the next game we're gonna play on the show,
Ooh,
which is
that's
Final
true.
Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes, Jim, that's because Final Fantasy ripped off Dungeons and Dragons really fucking hard when it was being created.
I think they
In
do.
fact, I
make
think
up
that in some of the
Suhagans.
early Final Fantasy games, they straight up lifted things out of the monster manual.
Yeah, like beholders and things like that.
Oh sure.
Anyway, I dealt with these guys by telling them a story. You can obviously kill them if you want, but I told them a story. Basically, that was about me killing Sarevok, and they were nice to me after that and gave me a wand. I liked the fishmen.
I told them a story about the Shining Lady.
Oh. Vanessa, what did you tell a story about?
I told them a story about my conflict with Servok, but it wasn't so much about me killing him as it was the deep regrets that I have to live with being a person who have slaughtered my own brother.
Wow. Do you feel like you would have regrets if you were forced to kill your own brother if you had never met them before and they were like a evil piece of shit, though? Like, I don't feel like you would have regrets about that. I feel like you'd be like, well, that sucked, but like, it's not like I had a choice. And also, it's not like he was family.
I feel like I would like to think of myself as someone who would have regrets over having to kill anyone, even if it was my brother.
Other than all those people you've killed. So,
I never said I didn't regret it.
further in the cave, there's some stuff to do. We fight some mushroom men. We find some crusaders who are like sick with a slime sickness and are turning into slimes and need a cure. You can find Farusk, that dark druid. Where'd Johnny go? Bye, Johnny. You can find Farusk, that dark druid, and you can ask him to put together a potion for you to cure the crusaders. And he will charge you 2,000 gold to do it, but I did not mind paying because I had a lot of money at this point.
So much money. You
And
just
then
rack up the coin in these games.
at that point, you can plant the enchanted seed in the roots. I mean, you can do it beforehand, but the minute you do so, he will turn hostile and you have to kill him. Farusk. I don't know if I fucked this up because once I put the seed in there, it just vanished. But I guess maybe you have to go back and talk to the druids again.
Yeah, no, you did it right. If you go talk to them, they're just like, hooray.
I never went back and talked to them. I had forgotten where they were. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. I think
There
they
are
give you
some-
a reward. I don't remember what it was, though.
Yeah, he gives you a reward of 12,000 XP, but I didn't get it. But I didn't need it. There are some young drow that are being attacked by an Enkeg that you can save. They are in love, and they are escaping from the Underdark to the surface. Mm-hmm. It's like Romeo and Juliet drow.
Yeah. I let him go. I was just like, cool. See you later.
You can then encounter a drow search party that's looking for them and fighting some crusaders. And you can put a stop to the fight by telling them that the drow have already escaped to the surface. When I was writing the notes, I found out that you can do this the other way around and get a different outcome where you meet the search party first and then find the kids. But I don't know. Johnny, did you save those drow?
I sure did. Oh, well, first of all, I saved the drow. Well, I didn't save them. I told them to not fight. I'll go find the kids. And I went and found the kids. And the kids were like, hey, and this feels like a quest we've done in every, like, Western open world RPG where they're like, we are in love and don't want to be...
Star-crossed lovers.
Yeah, they're star-crossed lovers. They don't want to be part of the drow. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, give these sigils to them and we'll pretend we're dead. And I'm like, all right, sounds good to me.
Drowio, O Drowio, wherefore out thou, Drowio? Forsake thy father and deny thy name. I think I said that backwards. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I guess that's not a big quest, but there is one more big side quest here. On the northern side of the cave, you can find a ghost dragon. Halatathlair.
Yep.
She will tell you that you can't pass and that she'll do everything in her power to stop you. And I talked to her and was like, I can see the sorrow in your eyes or something. And she's like, I can't say anything. And so I just kind of walked by her. And then she was like, cool, I did everything in my power to stop you. I told you not to do this. It was pretty fun.
She told me that I proved my valor by bravery by crossing. So
she wants us to slay her master, but she won't outright say it. But the dialogue options will let you be like, you want us to slay your master, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like,
But she like got summoned into the fight somehow without there's all these I killed her and the game's like you killed the ghost dragon. I'm like, oh.
You fucking killed the ghost dragon? You
I
piece
didn't
of
mean
shit.
why would you attack her?
Why would you
But
attack her?
She just joined the fight and started fighting
Yeah,
me.
she joined the fight for me, but
Oh,
I
if
had,
you
like,
kill oh.
I killed the guy who was controlling her, and
Right.
then she killed everyone else in that room.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh.
Well, spoiler alert for what I'm about to talk about. Behind her is the door to Canaglim, an abandoned dwarven city. And inside we find a cabal of dark magicians that are trying to create an army of the undead. There's also an opening to the fugue plane.
Oh, I missed
And-
that. That's where you throw the bodies in from those
Yep,
ghosts.
that's
you
where you
find.
throw those
I
bodies
didn't find
in.
that opening. I just hauled them bodies around till the end
Yeah,
of the game.
me too. They're in
Wow.
my bag of holding.
Well,
I
there's
thought
an
about
opening to the
leaving
fugue
them
plane
in
there.
hell, but I didn't.
So you kill all those dark magicians, and Halatathlair joins in the fight, and she will slay a bunch of mages for you, and is fucking awesome. And once you kill the main wizard, she's super grateful. She's sad because her babies are locked away somewhere in these caverns, and you can go find them, and they are blind albino wyverns that you can kill. And you can tell her, like, oopsie, I killed your babies. But she's glad because they were living in misery or whatever.
Yeah, I told her the same thing. I'm like, I'm sorry, they went mad. They were bad eggs. And she's like, okay.
I wonder if you could, like, charm them or something so they don't attack you and then bring them back.
I don't think so.
Okay.
She will give us a warning about the hooded man. As Johnny and Vanessa mentioned, there are some ghosts you can meet that will ask you to take their remains to the fugue plane, and you can bring those here. And if you have Nero with you, Adoy will go to the fugue plane, and that completes her companion quest.
I didn't. I couldn't find the last ingredient for Nira. I don't know what it was. Got the turnip juice.
I did all of her side quests, but I never put her in my party, so I didn't actually do this.
Mm-hmm. I
Anyway,
liked having. So for me, Stefano was more useful because she could disarm traps better than Glint, and she just was a bit more stable than, or like she could survive more than poor Nira. Nira was getting wrecked. But she did complain a lot. She did not like being in the underground river. She really doesn't like the location at the end of the game. She's like, I don't want to be here.
Oh.
What are you doing? Who did you have in your party, Vanessa?
I always had Rasad because he's my boo.
He was giving you plenty of kisses, I saw. Yeah.
Sorry, I was chewing.
I think I technically used... I didn't realize it was from the underground river. There was a picture you sent to chat of Rasad wanting to kiss you, and there was a bunch of water golems or elementals.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That was from the underground river.
I didn't know at the time.
Oh, for last week?
Yeah, for
That's
last week.
Yeah, he wanted to kiss me a whole bunch, and he was like, man, I really feel for you. And I'm like, oh, yeah? And he's like, yeah. And once this is all over, I'm going to show you the depth of my passion. And I was like, wow, that's quite the offer.
Glint also gives me a bunch of smooches, but it's really right after the fight or the siege of Dragonspear that he starts smooching me. So up to this point, we had not smooched. But he likes to smooch a lot. He's like, let me give you one more smooch now, buddy. I'm like, okay, you little scamp.
Aside from Rasad, I honestly do not remember who I had in my party. I think that I just never really bonded with a lot of the characters.
Minsk and Dinah here, maybe? Or Jahira and Khaled?
I do not know.
Or Shakira and DJ Khaled?
There's no way to know. I have no idea.
Okay. Well, never mind then. So
Jim, if you had played this part, who would you have added your party?
Oh, I don't know.
So there's a few things here. I did find a bunch of sick crusaders who had slime sickness. Did you find those guys, Vanessa?
Slime sickness, yes.
They were in the fungal area, the myconid
They were
area.
sticky stuck. Oh, of course, that's who I had with me, my little goblin.
Right, of course.
My favorite character.
I could look at the art we used for the last episode and tell you.
Oh, yeah. Tell me who's in my party.
Who's in your
my
party.
Switch. I can look at it and tell you who's in my party.
You've got there's Minsk, Dinah here, Rashad. You have Safana and
yeah,
Gabi.
Safana and the Gabi. Yep, that's my party.
Mm-hmm.
Minsk, Dinah here, Zod, Mabu, Safana, the horny thief, and the goblin Mahin. Minin?
At any rate, so they got the slime sick. Sorry, you want to fit? I'll let you finish.
No, continue. I was just gonna praise Minhin and how great she is. I don't know if that's actually her name.
Mihen, I think it is.
She's my favorite. She's the best. She saw these guys in the slime, and I was like, "What should we do?" And she's like, "I don't know, let them die." And I'm like, "I love you."
So I talked to them, and they're like, "Help us!" And then I talked to that evil druid, and he's like, "Oh, well, there's this tower, myconid tower. You could go there, grab some myconid elder hearts, and that will cure them." So I went and did that. But then I was like, oh, shoot, I never told the guy back at camp that I rescued Ski. So I went back and told him about Ski, and then napped, had some drinks, sort of just had a nice time. So then I came back, and as soon as I got back into the underground river, sorry, the Lethite? What is it? Lethite, the name of...
Oh, yes, the
Lethite.
The Lethite.
Yeah. As soon as I got back in the Lethite, I got a message that they were dead.
I actually did get them the potion and give it to them, and I still got a message that they had died later on.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were fine for me.
You got multiple potions? Do you have to give like one to each or something?
No, I gave it to the first one, and literally it said, like, you can give the rest out to your friends. That was it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It was weird.
Huh.
Anyway, one thing I forgot to mention there is after that Dwarven City, you do find some notes down there amongst the dark mages from Kalar's second-in-command Heffernan about performing a dark ritual.
I did find that.
But Kalar, she's good. She keeps telling us she's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it seems like her second-in-command sucks. And I definitely got more information about that. But first, let's talk about Druid for a second. So I came back and I was like, so I got those hearts and there's no option because I didn't realize I thought the people who had died were in the main like Lathes camp because there's some wounded boys there. I didn't realize it was slime sickness guys. So I was trying to figure out how to give him the hearts to get the potion for a long time. And it turned out I also had the potion in my inventory, even though he never gave it. I don't know. It was all broken. But I did put the big acorn into the tree. And then the guy attacked me. He was like, "What are you doing? You're ruining my tree. No." I did have to fight and kill him because I ruined his tree.
Yeah, but he was ruining his tree.
It's true. He was ruining his tree. The druids were real happy for that.
Well, there's a lot more down here, but we don't need to go through every little side quest. Mm-hmm. We do finally plant the barrel of whoosh. Mm-hmm. You can head north into the warrens below Dragonspear Castle, and from there you can head up into the basement of Dragonspear. In the warrens, you can find and free Slug, who will head back to the ogre camp and promises to help you when you attack Dragonspear.
I did do that. I also found Rhonda, although I'd already convinced the guys that they should let me up. So I didn't really need Rhonda.
Help me, Rhonda. Yep, another one of Glint's relatives. Rhonda is down here. And for
I don't
me,
think I found
had
all
her
of them.
going.
I never got the
either.
Chivo, so there must have been another one or two hidden around the world.
Man, Chivos really ruined games, by the way. I was playing Resident Evil 4 this week, and I was finishing it. I was fighting the last boss, and then I killed him, and it did like one of those fake out, you killed the boss, but you didn't really kill the boss deaths, you know what I mean? And I did not get a Chivo that said that I beat the boss, and I was like, this ain't over yet. And I was right. What a fucking spoiler.
You could turn off notifications. All the systems have disabled.
Can I turn off Chivos entirely? Because they're bullshit.
How dare you?
You can also, you can find Rhonda. That's another one of Glint's cousins. And for me, at least, she'll convince the ogres that are manning the elevator up to Dragonspear's basement to let us use it.
Mm-hmm. And she got
Once
the
you get
hell
up there,
out of Dodge.
You can poison the supplies if you're a fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find Heffernan talking to his master.
Now,
like a mirror, so you can't see who the master is.
Even on... So, this was tricky. I did try this. You get into a huge fight with like stone golems and all the guards and a bunch of mages, and even once you defeat them, they'll be like, hey, everyone's like, we need to leave right now because they're going to come back, because Heffernan just bolts out of there.
Yeah, Heffernan flees.
But he's like, I'll be right back. You should probably be gone by the time I'm back. And I tried getting out of there, but everyone was getting killed, even on easy. So I was like, you know what? I don't need to do this fight. I already have proof Heffernan sucks. Okay, well, you're better than me.
I did it. It was, you fight them. It's whatever. You kill his mages, and if you just hit him a little bit, the first fight ends because he flees. And then you can meet, like behind a curtain in a tiny room, you can meet the ghost of a dwarf named Darius, who is the man who built Dragonspear. And he is enslaved. His ghost is enslaved to Heffernan.
Yeah, sad.
Yep, you can free him by breaking the circle on the ground. And that's it. Then you leave, and you do get attacked on the way out.
He's
not
friends
all
with that
of the...
dragon, too. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. What do you mean?
He was talking about his friend. He's like, oh, I hope my friend is free, too. She's that dragon.
Oh,
like,
that's
yeah.
who his friend was. Okay.
Go hang out with your dragon.
I didn't get, if you don't attack a face, you don't get attacked on the way out. You can just leave. But if you do that fight, then some people will.
Yeah.
It's
Not
pretty
everybody
bad.
attacked me, though. Like, I made it through the nobody attacked me once I got down to the Warrens. I was fine. But then once I got back into the underground river, then I started getting attacked by Crusaders. But even not all of them.
Yeah, some guy
just
popped
some of
up
them.
and he was like, hey, you're that woman who has been causing trouble.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time to head back to the Coalition camp. And of course, as soon as we reach the Coalition camp, we are immediately told to turn around and head back and head out because all of the Coalition leaders are meeting with Kalar at Dead Man's Pass. Mm-hmm. This kind of annoyed me because she offers to completely end the crusade. All she wants is you. She wants them to turn the ball spawn over to her. And I was like, sure, fine. That's fine. Let's do it.
I was
And
like,
instead-
no, I'm not doing that. We'll see you in hell.
I also had the
yeah, that's
opportunity.
what's going to happen.
Yeah. I also had the opportunity to flat out tell her, like, hey, Heffernan is going to betray you. Like, he's got his own plans. And she was like, no way, I'm cool. Anyway, it would not let me turn myself over. Instead, the leaders of the coalition refuse. And she makes some threats and leaves. And we go back to the camp. And now it's time to now it's time to prepare for the main assault. But once you get back to the coalition camp is attacked.
No.
I like this.
What about our preparation time?
There are 3 waves of attackers. The first wave is a wave of trolls and ogres. The second wave is a wave of wizards. And the final wave is a wave of soldiers. And each time, you are given the opportunity to choose a different ally that you have gained by completing side quests to assist you.
I did.
against
Yeah, that was
these-
cool.
Okay, so I did it wrong, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
It just ended up being one big fight, and I never got a second and third chance to summon allies, even though I had.
Did you?
Yeah, they were
Did you
there.
fuck up? Did you lose?
No, I didn't. Well, you know what? It said I lost because okay. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. One of the enemies got afraid, got fear spell, and then ran to the bottom. And then I think everyone at the bottom were like, "Oh, we've been overrun. We got to leave." So that's why I lost all my allies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. So they tell us as the attack begins that in creating the barrel of bwoosh that we planted, there was a lot of leftover, like, dangerous material. And we are basically required to fight off these waves to protect this dangerous material. Because if the bad guys get to it, they can blow the whole camp up.
They didn't blow the whole camp up. He was just running around going, ah, ah! But that was enough to scare everyone off and kind of ruin the scripting of that event.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I had some archer friends that I had made, and I had them come and fight the trolls with me with some flame arrows.
Same.
And then, of course, I had some wizard slayer friends, so I used them against those wizards.
Same.
And then for my last one, I chose Brother Deepvein's dwarves to help me fight off these soldiers.
Same.
Wow. Just picked the same fucking thing all the way through, huh?
Yeah.
I
guess they're the ones that make the most sense.
I picked the
Well-
backstabbing thieves, and they're like, we wouldn't be very good against trolls. You should probably think about that again. It's like, I guess you're right.
Okay. Johnny does everything wrong. Anyway, we fight off. Well, Vanessa and I fought off the Crusaders, and they fall back to Dragonspear, and then we do ready ourselves for the final assault.
Yeah.
So we head to Dragonspear Castle, and we get what is frankly a pretty awesome fucking scene here. An awesome fight. You have all the soldiers from Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep, Daggerford.
Wait, didn't
And of
you
course-
say you were going to surrender?
Daggerford.
Didn't you tell her you're going to surrender and just take you? Why do you still have to fight?
Because the leaders of the coalition won't let you do it. They're like, no, you can't surrender. You're a very special ball spawn.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though they fucking hate you because you're a ball spawn. The ogre tribe was here as well. There were 4 of them, so I had 4 ogres. But it was cool. This is a huge battle with a ton of sprites on screen. And basically we just fight our way deeper and deeper into Dragonspear. We get a cutscene with Kalar telling Heffernan that they have to capture the ball spawn. We get held.
Problem here.
What's that?
You know that barrel of bawoosh, the thing that you were supposed to plant?
Yeah.
That place in the first place?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot to do it. Like I
Wow.
got
no.
down there and I spied on that like elf guy and I fought him and then I left and I didn't plant the barrel at all.
There's another way around.
There is another way around. I got there and they were like, you didn't plant the barrel? That's weird. Anyway, like, go over there. There's maybe a weak spot in the perimeter. And
Yeah,
go
it
to a
ties
place
back
where-
into Ski because she found the weak spot in the perimeter.
Yes, she found the weak spot in the perimeter. So if you did the ski quest, you'd already seen it. And that little gnome is there, and she's like, I'm going to blow up this weak spot. And she does. So
I think her name was like Fluey.
Yeah. Something like that.
I went in that way, and then I went. You're sort of in the area where the troll pens are, and the trolls were like, "Let us out! Let us out! We hate this place. Let us out!" So I let them out, and they went and fought for me and
Oh,
killed
that's
a whole
cool.
bunch of Kaladar's people. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, we got held up. I got held up at the walls of Dragonspear, but Delancey detonates the barrels of Boosh, and it does bring the walls down. And then we press the attack, and we run into one of Kalar's lieutenants, and a Varial named Ashatiel. And she tells you,
I just
it's like a
as-
winged elf.
As soon as I got into the Siege of Dragonspear, I went north, and she immediately was like, "Hey, let's fight." I was like, so I didn't really do any combat.
I did. I fought a bunch. In fact, one of my guys died, and I was really stressed out that I was not going to be able to revive him before I went to the final, but I was. So, anyway, we do the one-on-one fight, and I did kick the shit out of her. And then once she's dead, all of her Crusader buddies will flee. We press on to the Dragonspear courtyard, and Kalar appears again and tries to convince us to stop, but we demand her surrender, or at least I did.
I just want to talk it out. I don't understand why we can't just all sit down like grown-ups and talk it out.
That's
Every
what
time I tried to talk
too.
to her, she got all zealoty. Like, what are you supposed to do?
And then she ran downstairs, and I was like, wait, come back! So I had to follow her.
You actually get held up again at the courtyard gate, and Fluey comes back with yet another barrel of bwoosh and blows the thing up again. It's pretty fun.
That didn't happen.
So, interesting. So, we've blown the castle open. Most of the crusade is either dead or has fled, and we head into the castle. Kalar has holed herself up in the basement, and we are told to head down and confront her. Once we do find her, down in the basement behind a locked door we couldn't get through before, she slams the door behind us and locks us in with herself and Heffernan and a whole bunch of what's left of her crusade. And this is when the big twist happens. Heffernan betrays Kalar and opens a portal to Avernus.
Who could have seen this coming?
Avernus being the first level of the 9 hells.
They said it was like the first and worst, though. So is it like a reverse Dante's Inferno kind of situation?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, they did say that.
Anyway, surprise, Kalar and her friends go through the portal anyway, and we follow them.
Stefano was really not happy about this. She was like, "What are you doing? Why are we here? I do not want to be here. Please get me out of hell."
It feels like you have Stockholm syndrome with Safana. Like, why did you not get rid of her? She sucks.
And it's funny, when you're about to go into hell, Glint is like, "Hey, you know how people say I go to hell and back for you? I'm doing it. So this must mean I'm a pretty good boyfriend." And I'm like, "You are a pretty good boyfriend." He's like, "Yeah, you know what? I didn't think this would happen, but this seems about right for the kind of relationship I'm in." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me give you a kiss." And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "One more little smoochy woochy before we go down to hell." I'm like, "Okay."
I forgot to mention, when I was in the Underground River, Glint really started laying it on thick. And I was just kind of leading him on. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm a bad person. I like the attention.
You just like the attention, yeah.
But then Corwin, who I have been courting this entire game, turns around and gets real fucking mad at me and is like, "I thought we were serious." And I was like, "I love you." And she was like, "That's all I wanted to hear."
Aww. So you were just trying to make Corwin jealous by using a gay guy. Wow.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking.
Cast aspersions on me.
It was a
Just
joke.
like the attention. Anyway, so we head to Avernus. That's right.
Oh, did Rasad say anything?
Fucking over.
When
did
you went
Rasad
to
say
hell?
anything?
I think that this is when he said that when it's over, he's going to show me the depth of his passion.
Oh. Let me feel your mouth on mine.
So we show up in Avernus and we immediately find some Crusaders being attacked by some demons, and we help them out and save them. And then you head up a staircase, kind of chasing after Kalar. You find a tower, and Kalar heads inside, but we are stopped by a demon named Thrix. Maybe he's a devil. This is one of those settings where demons and devils aren't the same thing. I don't know. Fuck off. Anyway, but he offers us a wager. If we answer his riddle, he'll let us pass and give us a prize. But we have to wager one of our party's life. For me, he initially chose Corwin, and I was like, "Fuck no, that's my girl." And then he tried to choose Dinah here, and Minsk was like, "Fuck no!" And that left me with Voglin, who, he's a bard. He can live or die.
I was like, I'll wager my life.
I like Voglin, but
Yeah,
I don't
me
like
too.
him that much.
I wagered
you guys
my
are
own
nice.
life.
I chose Voglin because he had died before, and I was like, "Fuck you, you suck." Anyway, we answer the riddle. The answer is murder. And we choose our prize, and they all kind of sucked, I thought.
I gave the staff to Jahira, and she liked it, so...
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
I
it's
had Jahira using a sling. Like,
She
I don't
also
need her
had
running up
that
and attacking people.
druid staff that was pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I probably should have given her a sling because she does, even with good armor, she just takes so much damage just because she's
Of course
a
she
druid.
does, and she's got the least hit points of anybody.
Did we all choose the staff? I did as well.
I did as well.
Because the guy didn't want you to have it. He's like, "I have a really good sword, a really good shield, and a shitty staff."
I looked him up, and I think the helmet you had to be evil, or maybe the sword you had to be evil to use, and the helmet just kind of wasn't that impressive. Or maybe it was the other way around. But regardless, so once we answer his riddle or fight him and kill him, you can do that too. We head inside the tower, and we take an elevator ride. Whee!
Yay! Up,
Some
up,
classic
up, or
video
down,
game
down,
shit
down.
right here.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, we do get ambushed on the elevator by some mob waves. It was kind of weird seeing that happen in a game like this.
As I was writing the notes today, I saw that when you walk in before you use the elevator, you can rest in there because you won't get mobbed by enemies while you sleep, and I was really mad that I didn't do that.
I did.
But also, who wants to sleep in hell?
Yeah, or in an elevator. What was it that I have seen where a character lives in like a freight elevator? It's like in New York City, and they have an apartment, and it's in a freight elevator, and it occasionally moves, and everything rattles like crazy.
Scream 6, probably.
Probably.
There's a big elevator in an old apartment building in the movie The Ring.
Do people live in it? Like, is it their apartment?
That's
no.
right. I loved that. I remember that. They like the elevator just like it's not like it's freight elevator, so there's no doors. Like they just kind of
One of those
go
ones
up and
you
down.
like close from the top.
Yeah. I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
It's a good one.
Y'all ever been in one of those elevators?
I have when I used to work for Dickies, we had an old freight elevator in the building where the office was. It was like a 100-year-old building. Mm-hmm. So if we needed to move around and the other elevator was full, or we had a big cart of stuff, we could use the freight elevator. It was scary.
Did you feel like
Yeah,
you were
I've
gonna die?
been
I was
in
gonna say,
one, too.
did you feel like you were gonna die the whole time?
It was really scary.
Yeah,
my
I don't
doctor's
think I've ever been
offices-
alone in one, but I've definitely been in those old elevators. They're cool.
One of my doctor's offices is on the 3rd floor and has an elevator, and it is the rattliest, shakiest elevator I've ever been on, and I am constantly like, I hate this. We're gonna die.
I mean, I have one of those awesome freight
College, one of
elevators.
my best friends lived in this building where, when you were in her elevator, you had to like make sure that your knees were bent a little bit, before it stopped, because it jarred so sharply that like if your knees were locked, it would really hurt.
Fall down.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
And I have an awesome freight elevator up to my cool 90s loft. I don't know if you've seen my, it's got the bare brick walls and the exposed
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
got
Roots
the,
house.
all the exposed brick.
Yeah.
It's huge
I
space.
love
Jenny's
my
got a
90s
cool loft in
loft.
our Square Roots house.
Yeah.
it
That's
just
like the
opens
apartment
right
from The
into it.
Ring.
We call it the Square Roots house, but honestly, I live in a trailer outside. It's pretty uncomfortable. I tried to move into the house. There is an extra room, but they won't let me in.
Yeah, Matt lives in an old RV. The wheels are rotten. It doesn't move.
Yeah, we're using that room for storage, Matt.
Shitter's full. That's me every weekend. Anyway, we fight some demons on the way up, and when we get off the elevator, we meet Belafet, who I guess is the real big bad of this DLC. He's a devil. And Kalar, we watch Kalar fight through some devils, and
It's a real Necrid moment of suddenly there's a different bad guy. Except this makes more sense than Necrid or Necron. What was the name
yeah,
of
they've been setting this up.
Yeah,
Necron
they have been
was
setting
not
this
set
up.
up in any way, shape, or
No.
form. Kalar, we watch Kalar fight through some demons, and she demands Belafet release her uncle, On Argent, who is locked up in a cage in the back of the room. This whole crusade has been about her saving one person, her uncle. All of her fucking big talk about saving all the souls in the 9 hells was horseshit. Even
I mean,
though she
she'd
got
convinced
betrayed-
herself. She'd convinced herself that it was true. She did not.
Even though
she knew though that it wasn't true.
Yeah, even though she got betrayed, she still was a fucking bad guy the whole time. Like she never had honest intentions. Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, especially once you learn why he's in hell.
Yeah. Well, we
Well,
learned that after,
I mean,
after
she
the
made a
fight.
mistake as a little kid. That's not.
So-
I wouldn't feel mad about that.
We team up and we fight Belafet and Heffernan. Or, if you're playing evil, you can actually do this the other way around, I think. But regardless, at this point for us, because we all played good, Kalar can join the party if you have room and is a playable character. Or if you do not have room in your party, she will just fight alongside you.
Which seems
Yeah,
better.
she fought alongside me.
Because then you have 7 party members instead of 6.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He warps
And that's
around the
it. We
screen.
fight.
That's his.
Yeah.
That's the challenge of the boss fight. Is he keeps moving around and everyone stops attacking him, which is really annoying.
Yeah, really fucking annoying. I liked it. The sprite for Belafet was cool. He's a big
Yeah.
red-skinned demon with giant horns and 2 big fucking cleavers, and he hit hard. I mean, I'm playing on easy, and he hit hard. My main character was just chugging potions this whole fight like it was his fucking job.
One thing I did like, every Crusader leaves one minor and 1 major health potion. So everyone had in their active inventory just tons of potions.
Yeah,
Which
yes,
helps
I had
a lot.
so many fucking potions. As you head through the actual siege of Dragonspear, there are so many fucking potions on the ground that I stopped picking it up at some point. I was like, I've got enough potions and I've got enough arrows. I'm good. Anyway, we defeat him. We fight Belafet and Heffernan. We kill them. Well, I don't know if you can kill a devil, but we defeat him. And we talk with Kalar and On, and we learn that when Kalar was a child, she accidentally transported herself here to Belafet's throne room in Avernus. And her
because
uncle...
she was arrogant. She's like, I'm the best. I'm going to be amazing. She's real Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no way anything can go wrong with me because I'm the
She
best.
was a kid who had
Honestly, this
access.
is a way better version of the Anakin Skywalker story.
Yeah.
I'll say that. We learned... So On came here to Avernus and offered himself as a trade to save her. It's real sad.
Yeah.
Kalar agrees to return to Baldur's Gate with us and face trial for her crimes. Mm-hmm. But as we return to the portal back to Dragonspear, she stops and says she's not coming. She's going to stay behind because the portal can only be closed from this side. So someone has to do it.
Story. She's
I guess if
trying
you
to avoid trial.
She wants to be Queen of Hell.
You can, depending on your dialogue choices when you meet her and Belafet, you can instead Belafet will kill Heffernan, and you'll have to fight Belafet and Argent, Kalar. Mm-hmm. And so in that case, at this point, On will stay behind to close the portal.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there was really no point in going there anyway.
Yeah, it was all a big waste of time. But in my game, we saved On at least, I guess. That's good. I mean, it's nice. Doesn't seem like it was worth all the fucking death and destruction.
I think On would agree.
When we head through the portal, he does. I mean, he's not happy about it. Once we head through the portal, we meet the coalition leaders are there, as well as a bunch of the army. And we explain what happened. And we head off to rest. Or in my case, we head off to bang Corwin. Because Corwin was like, let's get funky, boy. And I was like, let's go.
Huh. I guess Glint's more ace he was more into smooches and that's it. Which I totally relate to. He's more of a smoocher.
I don't think that Rasad wanted to get funky in the night, but I assume he's some kind of eunuch.
Wow.
But the game does not end there. Once we go to rest,
it sure doesn't.
We get another dream sequence, this time of Ski Silvershield. She talks to the hooded man. She turns into a monster. We haven't talked much about this, but there have been several dream sequences like this.
Yeah, where the hooded man's there and someone turns into a monster and the hooded man's like, you have to embrace your destiny and kill everyone.
Yeah, hooded man sucks. So we fight the monster, and then we wake up and find ourselves standing over Ski's body with our hands covered in blood.
But it was just a dream.
The guards show up. We are arrested for the murder of Ski and taken back to Baldur's Gate to stand trial. Once we get there, the streets are filled with citizens hurling insults at us and booing us. And there's a cutscene.
Baldspawn, you suck.
That takes place on the streets where Belt is there and like reading your crimes. Like your trial takes place just in the street. It's real fucking weird. Intar Silvershield interrupts and demands our head for killing his daughter. He says that he keeps screaming at us, where's the dagger? And we can't resurrect her. We get a chance to defend ourselves. And if you get a chance here to list off some things that you have done. And if you are able to list 4 good things that you have done, it changes kind of the end here a little bit. Was anybody not able to do this?
I did it.
I convinced Belt I was a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
My options were I did too. My options, most of them were all the good stuff I've done. I definitely did have one option that was like, also, I offered up the soul of one of my party for a fucking riddle because I'm an asshole. And would I tell you that if I was guilty? I did not choose that option. You can only choose 4.
Yeah, I had one that was like, I offered my own soul instead of one of my party members. I'm cool.
I had so many good things to brag about. It was wonderful. I did
too.
Poison those people.
I didn't poison those people. Apparently Vanessa couldn't brag about that.
What?
I could what?
What?
I thought Vanessa said she poisoned the Crusaders'
No.
supplies.
Oh.
I didn't poison them. I just didn't set the bomb.
Right. Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, so we are taken back to the Flaming Fist jail and locked up. For me, Corin came by to chat, but she refused to help me. I was like, get me out of here. And she was like, this is the end. Ball spawn, lover. Even though you won't admit it, this is the end. She was ready for me to die. Pretty fucked up.
Wow.
Did anybody visit you?
Yeah, Rasad came by and he was like, hey, this sucks. And I was like, Rasad, I didn't do it. He's like, I know you didn't do it, but I don't know what to do. And I was like, I can't stand for you to see me like this. And he's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, right. Rasad came by and he pulled his dick out and he was like, just touch it, babe, please. Just touch it.
Just touch it one last time.
Just touch it. Just a hand job, please.
No, Glint came by and Glint was like, I can't believe what they're saying you did, so I won't believe it. So let's figure out how to prove that you're innocent. I'm like, that's awesome. And I think Shakira came by too, and she was like, you've been great, and I can't believe this about you, and but I'll be with you to prove it that this isn't true.
Then the hooded man appears, and he kind of taunts you. And you have a recollection of that night that Ski died, and you remember that the hooded man is the one who killed Ski. And he used the Soul Taker dagger, which, by the way, I fucking destroyed in Baldur's Gate. So cool. Great job, game.
Well, there's also been people who were dead in Baldur's Gate 1 who show up, so...
Well, but the point is, that's true. Dor and I but, the thing is that people can definitely get resurrected. So that makes some sense. But, they even reference it here when Intar comes out and he's like, we can't resurrect her because her soul is missing. But I did that Soul Taker dagger quest, so fuck you.
Daggers can be reforged, I guess.
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, I don't know how you guys dealt with the hooded man. I was a real asshole to him. I was like, okay, fuck you, and I will fucking find you and kill you.
I was just like, why are you doing this? I don't get it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm coming for you. You suck.
Yeah. Finally, we go back to sleep. We wake up. So this can go one of two ways. It sounds like we all have the same situation here, which is that you get woken up by Duke Belt, who informs you that you are to be banished from Baldur's Gate.
Yep.
And then he will hand you off to a guard who leads you down through some sewers and outside the city. If you were unable to offer 4, I believe, pieces of evidence in your favor, in your character reference stuff in your favor, then a thief will show up and spring you from jail, who was hired by Imoween.
Oh, it's me, Imoween.
Either way, you head through the sewers and outside the city, where you meet up with Imoween. And she's all happy to see you. And, Imoween's always coming on to the main character for me. And I've always been like, fuck off, Imoween. I'm not interested in you. But now that my girlfriend has left me for dead, I was like, yeah, Imoween, I really missed you too, babe.
That was the same day. Man, that's quick work.
Daddy's got to get it wet. So, she leads us to the rest of our party, or at least a few of them. Jaheira and Minsk and Dinah here were here, I think. But not everybody, for me anyway.
Yeah, that's who was there for me as well.
And Imoween's like, let's rest for a moment. And then she's like, I feel funny. And we get a quick cutscene where I think we get ambushed by some thieves. And we basically pass out. And that's the end of the fucking game.
The end. What a satisfying ending.
Ugh. Baldur's Gate 1 has a pretty satisfying ending, I guess. We kind of did this to ourselves because Johnny made us play Siege of Dragonspear.
He made us.
He did.
Dare
Johnny's
you.
fault. That's it for
I
Baldur's Gate.
I like that we played it because I think it's a really good game. So
I agree. I've tried this game several times. I've bounced off it several times, but being forced to really dig into it, I enjoyed the hell out of this game. Now I was more than ready to be done with it.
well, we'll talk about that in our Squarely Against.
That's a good point. Next time we will be playing to the end of Chapter 3 in our new game, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Woo!
But we already played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
You didn't. Oh, well, not the remake.
Yeah. Now you'll get to find out what happens again. Act surprised.
No, it's different. It's
Spoil it,
different.
Jim.
Shh, don't spoil.
I won't spoil it.
It sucks.
No, it's good. It's really good.
It was good.
Are there any other side quests that anybody would like to talk about before we wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
Johnny has a side quest.
What was the thing that we said we would put into the side quests at the beginning? Remember, there was there's something we said we'd talk about in the side quests. Was it
From the Underground River, probably?
Yeah, I guess I did the slime thing, and well, sort of. I failed it. I got the druids. There's the ogre. I did let the ogre out. That was fun. Trying to think. There was some more side questy stuff. I didn't do the thing with the bodies and throw them into the fugue. I forgot. Well, I didn't find it. So there's a whole lot of quests where I didn't end up doing them. But that's okay. I did finish the ski trip one, and rescue ski. And then there was the Myconids. Trying to think. I guess there was one, and we were going to talk about it, and I forgot which one. I'm sorry. I was hoping I could jog my own memory. It didn't work.
Listeners, write in and tell us what side quest we forgot to talk about.
Don't do that. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
We couldn't possibly cover every single thing that happens or could happen or might have happened or did happen or would have happened in this game.
Well, that's it for Baldur's Gate. Let's talk about what we are squarely against. Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa, and I'm roundly for this game. I did find the learning curve to be a little steep because I'm a little baby zillennial, and I like to have my handheld when I play games. Used to very contemporary games with extensive built-in tutorials that's like, hey, buddy, can you get that book off the shelf for me? Wow, it's my magic book. Here's how you do magic. And it didn't have that. I don't know if playing it on the Switch was the best choice. I played a lot of it while the TV was on, so I missed a lot of the recorded dialogue because I was, spending time with other people while I was playing the game at the same time. And I don't know if the Switch was the best choice to play it on because I played it on handheld mode. And it's already kind of a zoomed out camera, and everyone was just so teeny tiny the whole game. But overall, I am roundly for this game. I thought it was fun. It reminded me of a lot of games that I love, like Fallout and Elder Scrolls. 10 out of 10. Baldur's Gate. Game of the year. Jim, are you roundly for or squarely against this game?
I'm roundly for, though I will caveat that I didn't finish the whole thing.
No way.
Wow.
Probably never would have known. Never would have known. But what I played of it, which was like up to like the middle of chapter 7, so I almost finished the main game. I like it. I thought it was very well written, and I thought the parts that were supposed to be funny were funny, and all the characters were really well done. Roundly for. What about you, Matt?
I'm also roundly for this game. I thought it was good fun. I mean, certainly an older title with a lot of older title problems, an inventory system that's pure garbage, a lot of old Dungeons and Dragons stuff that, has fallen by the wayside for good reason. But overall, I had a great time with it. I loved the depth of the game. I loved the depth of the DLC. I didn't love the combat. I'll admit I played a lot of it on easy, but I feel like a game that wants to have like really tactical combat like this works better when it's turn-based, because I just never really found the opportunity to like dig into it, because my characters were always running off and just doing their own thing. Basically, the AI fucking sucked. Maybe turn-based isn't necessary, but other than that, I had a great time. It had a fun plot. It had a ton of great characters, a ton of extra content that was a lot of fun to dig into. Fun surprises, the werewolf stuff, Durlog's stupid fucking tower, the chess game. Yeah, great game. Fucking 10 out of 10. Baldur's Gate 1. Johnny, what about you?
I was scared of approaching this one because, as I said, I got really stuck and couldn't figure out how to play it back in 1998 when I was an adult. And coming back to it now, I have played so many of these Dragon Ages and things, and I'm much more comfortable, and I really liked it. I think that I enjoyed the DLC more because it had more character interactions and cutscenes and more the party hanging out with each other vibes, which I really like. And I do think that this kind of lo-fi game allows a lot more room to, like, a lot more depth to it than, like, the problem with something like Dragon Age is that they have to make these super expensive cutscenes for everything, so there's a lot less stuff. In this one, it's just some text and maybe a voiceover, so they can do a whole lot more elaborate stuff, and I think that's really cool. But the downside is you're not getting the cinematic fun of something like a Dragon Age, but I think that if I had to choose between the two, I'm going to go for more breadth and more story. And so, yeah, it was pretty ideal having the modern sensibilities combined with an old school looking game. I really, really like that. I just like the way the writing and the scent. You know, sometimes you just don't click with the way adventures are formed, but in this one, I think it was really on my wavelength. And I loved the romance with Glint. Was amazing. It's just my kind of like low key, doofy romance that I've never really seen in a game before. So yeah, I don't know. I'm roundly for Baldur's Gate, but especially roundly for Siege of Dragonspear.
Woohoo!
We did it. We have an email from last week that we weren't going to read because Jim wasn't here, so
yeah, Jim really wanted us to read it while he was here. I'll read it. Do it. Dear people of Square Roots, after one of Jim's occasional forays into Cynthia Rothrock Appreciation Cast a few weeks ago, I want to send in a recommendation. The Riff Tracks version of the previously discussed Horror and Glory. It is the guys from late era MST3K. It's free on Amazon /through Tubi and is the best way to enjoy a film.
Isn't it Honor and Glory?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not doing a very good job reading this.
That's okay. You're doing just fine.
It is the best way to enjoy a film where the following characters, among others, are all highly trained martial artists. An FBI agent /spy, a local TV reporter, a pimp named Silk, a bank CEO /nuclear terrorist, a random bystander /heckler /disgraced senator's daughter /knife-wielding assailant. To be clear, these last four all describe the same character. The whole thing was filmed in the DC suburbs for maybe $15 and couldn't be more 1980s if it included an intermission for cocaine. It does, however, feature some legitimately impressive fights and is hilarious in Riff Track's hands. Thought you might enjoy it. Keep up the great pod, James.
Yeah, it does.
I like a Cynthia Rothrock movie.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one. Hi there. I love how you each fit into one of the classical podcast host archetypes. Cool guy, angry dad, smart lady, the one who actually cares and keeps everything from falling apart.
Thank you for calling me a cool guy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for calling me an angry dad.
Thanks for calling me a smart lady.
Wait, does that mean I'm the one who keeps the podcast from falling apart and actually cares?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like work.
To form the Square Roots podcast party. I was curious if you fell naturally into those slots, or if some of you are playing a role to balance out the show. And if you were in a Final Fantasy V party, what would each of your jobs be? From Tyler.
I would be a dragoon because I love to jump.
No, you know what? Calculator sucks. I just like their outfits.
I would be a summoner because when I'm in trouble, I just call someone else to handle it for me.
Obviously, I'd be a dancer.
I think I want to be a ninja.
As for the podcast archetypes, I think that who we are on the podcast is an aspect of each of our true personalities, though perhaps not the most robust 360 representation of such.
I'm also a cool dad.
Yeah, and I'm also I care.
Vanessa cares.
I care.
I will say that to their point about John, I think John's consistency in how he approaches the podcast is crucial to the longevity of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, so that's not just me being, what's the word for having an abnormal brain? Aneurotypical?
Hyperfixated.
Yeah. Shush you.
Oh, I would have. I misunderstood. I would have said asshole. Oh, the look on Johnny's face. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jim.
Thanks for the email.
Yeah, I don't think that we calculated our podcast personas
No.
to have a good dynamic, though.
No, I'm just an angry dad.
And I'm just smart.
Angry Dad sounds like a sitcom on Fox or something.
It does.
That's me. I'm a fucking walking, talking sitcom character. That's why I'm drinking these beers.
Oh man.
Jim, why don't you tell us
Good
about
stuff.
the Patreon?
We do have a Patreon. If you're a member, you can access all types of cool bonus content. Our last bonus that we released was that last week or the week before? Week before last. Was John and Vanessa and I created some PowerPoint presentations that we then walked the other hosts through. Matt judged the best one at the end. It was a really fun time. That's actually the first time we've released a video.
Yes.
As bonus content, our first ever video formatted bonus content is available on Patreon, as well as hours and hours and hours and hours of other bonus content. If you'd like access to that content, you can sign up at podcast.com, at Patreon at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. If you're subscribed at the $3 level, get access to all that sweet content. Access at the $5 level gets you that content plus the ability to vote on the games that we play on the show. As Matt said earlier, next game, which is the most recent vote winner, is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
If you want to get ready for the Marvels coming out, I would recommend you go back and listen to our exhaustive Captain Marvel thing. We go into, like, I can't believe I let them go into that much Marvel detail about that movie. Like, Matthew was like, oh, this is a reference to that, and this is a reference. We get so into every scene of that movie, and, like, every background element that's a reference to something, and there's so many references hidden in that movie.
Yeah, that's one of our best episodes, and people don't talk about it enough.
Also, a benefit to being a patron is at the end of every episode, we do like to personally thank some of our patrons. I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking, hey, it's me, Imoen. Hang it up, Tom. Oh, hey, it's Amanda P. T. Balders, I hardly know her bumpkins. Nick, Matt, maybe Flesh Guys, Megan Sullivan, and 69 Love Songs.
I'd like to thank Cyril the Wolf, Knopford, Northern Loon, Dr. Fine, say everyone's name, Kristen Ingram, For the Fallen, Nick Moriarty, Tracy, Grey Code, and Eduardo Franco.
I'd like to thank Vanessa, go.
Huxley Iguana, My Battery is Low, John B. Quaker Oatman, Andy M. Welcome to Cute Boy Jail, Honk Honk, Slightly Aroused Grandma, Sean Gonzalez, Mikey Mucho, and Ross Hartley.
I'd like to thank Mike Marno, Matt Jorgensen, Justin Ham, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, Lexa Varial, Jerry Schreffler, Sammy Mitchell, Tracy the Board Queen, Chris Sasaki, Jeremy I Am, David Arnold, and Stephen Paget. I was quite surprised to see a significant uptick in our Patreon. So thank you for all our new patrons. You will definitely get thanked by name. I just randomize the list I randomize the list. We go through every single one over a few episodes, and then so you'll get thanked. I make sure everyone gets thanked.
Tune in to find out when. All right, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the air, our email address is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Don't forget to rate. I always forget it. What do I say in this show? Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Sparkle, Clam, and Crackle, Tubi,
Android Play,
Google Play. And thanks to Stephen Morris for our Skirts theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of fun covers. He's prepping for. I think all musicians are really bringing out their Zelda covers right now. Zelda's so hot right now.
Yeah. So hot.
And on YouTube, but links for all that is in the show notes.
All right, everyone, for Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brendan.
And I'm Vanessa the Ball Spawn. Spawn your balls.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.